Hello guys, welcome back to the Laker family, where the Lakers lost another one to the Phoenix Suns, 115-105. I don't know what to say, guys. I'm almost at a loss of words at the things that I'm continuing to see from our team. Um, like I said, it's not all bad, but the bad is pretty it's pretty ugly, and we have to fix it, and we have to fix it soon before this thing gets to snowballing. Um, we already know we're in the tough Western Conference, so you do not want to um, have this thing escalate in the wrong direction. You start piling up too many losses early, it can that can come down to bite you on the back end of the season. Y'all remember what happened to us last season when we had to end up fighting for our lives just for a play-in. So we have to do everything in our power to avoid a situation like that. And it starts with fixing bad habits now. Um, like I say, man, it seems like we always kind of get off to these good starts. Even the last couple of games of the preseason, we would jump off to these great starts, and then for whatever reason, the energy just drops. And it's a culmination of multiple things. Um, the referees were atrocious tonight, and I can go really in on the refs, but we did some things ourselves to kind of offset that. So I can't be as mad at the refs as I normally would, because we were compounding it with silly mistakes on our own. Um, yes, they were missing calls. Like we were getting none of the 50-50 calls when it came to the block or charge calls. Um, the Suns would get every call. It would be blatant, like JaVale McGee dropping his shoulder into JaVale McGee, and he would get the call. Um, whereas on the other end, Russell Westbrook, he couldn't get the call. When they it should have been a blocking, but they gave him the charge call. So it was like that the whole game. We would never get the benefit of the doubt on those bang bang plays. Um, the 3-point shots, um, the ones where they said LeBron James had stepped up underneath Jay Crowder, and to me Jay Crowder did, because it started from a three and his body ended up over the 3-point line. So that play was kind of hard, but they gave the benefit of the doubt to Jay Crowder. On the same thing, Revis got in at the end. Mikal Bridges just ran straight through him, no call. So it was blatant with what the refs were, how the referees were reffing against us. Some of them were silly mistakes on our part. Like, we're already getting the bad end of the stick with the referee tonight. Let's not compound that with our silly mistakes. Like, Melo made a couple of silly mistakes, like fouling Chris Paul on a 3-point shot at the end of a shot clock. We had a chance to kind of make it interesting at the end, and Melo just wraps up Mikal Bridges at the end. And I'm like, for what? Why would you do that? Just silly stuff like that, man. Turning the ball over, uncharacteristic stuff that you wouldn't see from a championship contending type of team. We were shooting ourselves in the foot as well as the refs. So it was a combination of both. Um, highly frustrating, highly frustrating, highly frustrating. I'm trying to get my words and my thoughts together, guys, because I don't want to lose it, especially not this early. But we were missing chippies, man, at the rim. I can't even count how many times we blew wide open layups, just wide open layups. Anthony Davis or Russell Westbrook, just we were missing so many chippies. I mean, Anthony Davis ended up with a decent stat line here. 22 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal and 2 blocks. 10-11 from the free throw line. Thank God he shot better from the free throw line because he was starting to scare me with that. But he became like he disappeared. The Lakers wanted to start off the game trying to get Russell Westbrook going, but with that you neglected Anthony Davis, and we all know you cannot do that with Anthony Davis. You have to keep him engaged. I think they might have gave him 2 touches or something early, and then that was it. They went away from him. They was trying to get Russell Westbrook going. You have to keep Anthony Davis engaged on the offensive end. And he was kind of a no-show or on the offensive end until like later on in the ball game, when the game should have been over, and we were kind of just out there trying to figure out what's the best lineups to use going forward. And we kind of started gaining some momentum in the fourth quarter. Like I say, the first quarter was decent. We lost this game in the second, I believe, in the second quarter. It got away from us in the second quarter, and maybe the Suns kind of fell asleep a little bit there in the second half going into the fourth quarter, but we kind of snuck back into the game. I don't know how, because the Suns looked like they were just straight dominating us the whole time. And I look up, the score was like 100-110. I was getting ready to set up with everything, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're only down 10? And so it was like a sneak thing. Like I had no idea we had cut the lead down like that. But he put in Reeves, and that kid came in and did some good things. To me, I feel like he earned some more minutes. He deserves some more minutes. He came in and was playing with heart. Like, when the rest of the guys wasn't playing with no heart and energy, that kid Reeves came in and gave us heart, man. He knocked down 2 3-pointers, ended up with 8 points in only 12 minutes. Yes, it was kind of almost garbage time at that point, but he brought us back to where it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is a game. When he was in that lineup. I feel like that kid deserves a little more shine, a little bit more run in the rotation going forward. But the rest of the guys, man, LeBron had a decent stat line as well, 25 points, five assists, but still, it just was like no energy. And don't get me wrong, the Suns is an underrated defensive team. Like when people think of the Suns, they don't think of a defensive team. But they are a sneaky good defensive team. So I have to give them credit there, even though I can't stand them. Especially that Jay Crowder and his antics. I mean, just grabbing people. He grabbed Bradley on that one play up top on that pick and roll. They got the call on that. And clearly he's grabbing and hugging Bradley, but they gave Bradley the call. That's part of the stuff I was talking about with this refereeing. It was like a sequence, like four calls in a row on that same sequence that involved Jay Crowder. Dirty Jay Crowder. And he got the benefit of the call every single time. And then he talks mess like he's this MVP caliber type of player. I just can't stand him. Chris Paul was getting away with crap. And Frankie V was livid because there was a fast break where CP3 lunged himself into Malik Monk. Malik Monk has every right as a defender to his space. CP3 just nudged him out of the way with his off arm, and no call, no offensive foul, no nothing. And it's like, okay, we cannot depend on the refs. So we have to compose ourselves. We did not do that. I didn't see no composure. Yes, I was hot at the refs, but as an older, wiser team, we supposed to not let that kind of get to us, especially so quickly. It was a lot of stuff I felt was getting to us tonight. Um, backsides was getting tight. The nerves was up here. You could even feel it in the arena. I'm not even there, and I can feel it in the arena. How the crowd was, getting tight and antsy, like, oh my God, what are we witnessing? We're getting ramrodded by 30 points. Uh, and on paper, we're supposed to be destroying this team, but we're getting blown out by like 30 something. And you could tell the guys were starting to get frustrated with one another, and it bled over into the bench, man. Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard were getting into it. I don't know. I know Dwight Howard was barking at the team before that happened because he was feeling like the guards was kind of putting the big men in bad situations defensively, which, I mean, he had a point. But as much barking as he was doing, he and DeAndre Jordan wasn't making no type of impact on the game tonight. None. So it's like, you might have a right to your opinion, but you wasn't doing enough to be barking at everybody like that. It was a collective meltdown from everybody. So that was not a time for you, Dwight, to jump mad at everybody else. Every single person was failing defensively tonight, and it was highlighted by LeBron sitting in the backcourt. He thought he had blocked the dunk on Cam Jordan, but I think Cam Jordan just missed the rim. He tried to dunk on LeBron and basically just put the nail in the coffin, just completely just embarrass us. And I'm glad he didn't make the dunk and he fell over. Good for him. But I guess LeBron thought he had got the block and decided to stay in the backcourt and celebrate. That was not a good look. You should have got back. So that was just basically the exclamation point on top of an already bad performance defensively from us. And that was one of my concerns coming into the year, man, was can we get enough stops defensively? Because the last 2 years, we've hung our hat on being a great defensive team. This year, the way it's starting off, not so much. I mean, people are running layup lines, layup drills on us. They're 1, 2, 3 passes, boom, wide open guy for a 3-point shot. Seemed like every single time down the floor, all they had to do was pass it down to Aiden. If he's covered, pass it back out. Somebody's wide open for a 3-point shot. Every single time. We could not go at the pick and roll. We were so lazy on the pick and roll, just giving CP3 just pedestrian practice looks at mid-range. And he's probably one of the best mid-range shooting point guards in the league. So you giving him that is like a layup for him. It was embarrassing defensively tonight. Our best quarter was probably the fourth quarter. We ended up outscoring them 38-21. But it shouldn't take for you to be down 30 to try to find some energy. Like, well, come on now. It should never get to that point. Now we're 0-2. We could have at least been 1-2 if you didn't play with your food against Golden State the last game. But you played with your food there, and now you got yourself looking, staring at an 0-2 record already. As much as I wanted that first game, I wanted this game even more. I can't stand Phoenix because I feel like they ended up getting the better end of the stick because of health issues last year. But right here, they just stuck it to us, man. They stuck it to us. And we got to play better, man, especially on the defensive side of the ball. This is going to make me really, really want to hurry up and see Trevor Reza, guys like that come back. THT. THT isn't an elite defender by no stretch of the imagination, but at least he gets in there and puts his head down, and he has the physical tools to be disruptive at this point. I don't know if he can grow into an elite defender down the road, but at least he's gonna put his head down in there and try to cause havoc. Something, do something. That's all I'm asking defensively. 115 again? Come on, man. We're not really suffering offensively that much. Could it be better? Of course, yes, we can do things to clean up our offense. Starting really with Russell Westbrook, he ended up with 15, 9, and 11, almost a triple-double, but his points didn't come until like later on in the ball game. He kind of started out this game tentative again, missing some chippies, but he just started putting his head down fourth quarter, and that's all I wanted to see. Put your head down, Russell Westbrook. Do what you do. It's like when the Avengers say Hulk smash. Do what you do best. You might not be the most graceful as everybody else or whatever it is, but Russell Westbrook, go Hulk mode. Do you play your game, because it's not gonna do anybody no good. If you sitting back or you playing us, that's not your game. I'd rather you go full throttle and try to make something happen versus just sitting back, not doing anything, or just settling for threes. You're clanking threes, turning the ball over, stuff like that. You have to just we passed over Buddy Hield for Russell Westbrook, so we have to live with what we have. You just have to play your game, man. You just have to play your game. Like I say, man, he always starts off slow, like the last couple of years, but I'm just hoping and praying that he picks it up. But the way he finished that fourth quarter, that's at least what I want to see. Some fire, some fight, joining somebody, something, doing something. Dwight Howard, he was doing a lot of drawing and this and this and that, but it wasn't like you wasn't giving us any actual impact on the floor. We need more from you. And DeAndre Jordan is looking like, I don't know. I just don't know. He gave us like one good game in the preseason, but he's looking like a dinosaur at this point. I'm kind of getting nervous about the DeAndre Jordan situation. 2 points. What was this? 4 rebounds in 10 minutes. These guys have to at least make themselves a lively body, like a lob threat, something. Do something. If not, man, we're gonna have to find ourselves looking for another, big man come the trade deadline, or we're just gonna have to play Anthony Davis at the center position a little bit more. I do not like when Frank Vogel has Rajon Rondo and Westbrook in the lineup at the same time, because that just shrinks the floor. The Suns are able to look even better defensively because they don't have to guard them as much. Rondo, yes, he has improved his three-point shot, but the Suns will live with that. The Suns will live with Rondo taking consecutive open threes and Russell Westbrook taking consecutive open threes. They rather shrink back, clog the floor on Anthony Davis and LeBron James, inside. So I really don't like that lineup that Frankie V is trying. And his calling card is, we already know he's not that great of an elite mind offensively. So his calling card has always been defense, but as you can see, there's no defense present. Maybe we can chalk that up to we don't have the defensive players healthy right now, but still, 115, and then the last game was around the same thing we gave up to Golden State. Uh, it's not a good look for Frankie V right now starting out with his defense and his rotations. Now he said he was going to play Anthony Davis at the center position more, but that really hasn't been the case. I haven't seen enough of that. And it's like when he puts DeAndre Jordan in there, he quickly pulls him out because he's not giving us anything. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm thinking pretty soon I'm gonna say Russell Westbrook is probably gonna have to come off the bench, man. I know that's not a reality. That's never gonna happen. It's highly unlikely that Russell Westbrook does that. But if he sits down and